a shortage. So we'll do some baetis dries today. It'll be a quick session. But I think those are jigs. We don't want jigs. I don't know how many of these we'll be able to finish. This is an 18. It's a pretty small 18. Hook sizes are not uniform, if you haven't figured that out by now. On the bobbin, we have a UTC 70, which is appropriate. I'm gonna tie this like I do most of my other dries, with the CDL tail, and then I like the moose mane for the body. The moose mane or stripped peacock, I think, is good for the body. Tying the tail. Let the material roll over. Thread's lying a little flat right now, so let's spin it up. Trim out the excess. Let's get our moose. This is an old patch of moose mane. Very old. But this one's nice. I've kept this one because the hair is not as dark as other moose mane patches, which I like. A little bit lighter color. Baetis is generally darker gray, darker brown or olive. Can't really go wrong. I think the wing, though, the wing should also be a little bit darker, matching the body color is what I usually try to do. Not all the time. That was 3 moose mane hairs, which was plenty. I could have gotten away with 2. We'll use a scrap CDC tip for the wing. Here's a good tip. It's almost too good of a tip to use for this wing. But we'll tie it in flat, concave up, and then we'll draw it in. The baetis usually have a pretty pronounced wing for the size of the mayfly. But for the hackle, we'll do a darker color. Maybe this dark olive would be good. Oh, that's too much feather. We want just the right size feather. It's too much feather. These are big feathers. This one looks good. So we're just going to use half of that feather for the leg material. We'll clip it, split the thread. Trim it off the stem. Standard CDC technique. Bodkin, where are you? Okay. Let's try to seat it quite high in the loop, so we don't have any unnecessary wraps, or limit the unnecessary wraps. And then go behind, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 in front. Let the thread unravel. We'll clean up our hackles here. It's a lot, probably too much material for the hackle. Leaving them a few longies is not a problem. And you can always trim it down if you feel like it's causing a problem. Whip finish. And trim. We'll do one more. Try to do a couple more. That's a pretty ugly hook. That down eye is quite sharp. We'll make it work. CDL, 2 fibers. measure it out. Tie him in. It's pretty long, but we'll keep it. Moose body, or moose mane. Two roughly the same size. 3 is okay. You could do the same, if you're tying a midge, you could use the same concept, no tail. And then the wing, instead of an upright wing, you kind of slope it back or tie it in spent. That would also work. Wrap the buck moose. The moose gives it a nice segmentation. And then there's a little color gradient, color change as well, which I like. Ideally, the tail would be splayed a little bit more, but we're kind of rushing it. Let's get another feather for the wing. It's so feather. Yeah, here's a so-so. And we'll match it with another so-so. We'll do 2 so-sos. Two so-so tips. That should be enough. Draw them back just a touch so the fibers are getting pushed forward. Couple wraps in front. Help it stand up. Reposition. Where's our dark olive we had? Oh my goodness. I don't think this is a dark olive, but we're gonna use it. But we don't, this is a really long piece, but we only want a little bit, so we're just gonna use a quarter of it. That's more of a slate gray than the dark olive, but I don't think it matters. Spin it up. Yeah, this is too much material. We're gonna take a lot out. you'll need a lot of these. So if you're in a hatch, you'll want a lot of these little flies. Just changing them, they're not bad. They don't fall apart. It's not a durability issue, it's a flotation issue. You gotta switch them out, let them dry, then you can tie them back on. But when I'm fishing a baetis hatch, I'm usually rotating like 5 or 6 different flies. Otherwise, you will just go through desiccant powder like crazy, and it's not that effective. It's better just to let it dry out. Catch a couple fish, change the fly. Catch a couple fish, change the fly. You need the desiccant. You definitely need the desiccant, but you'll be brushing it on after every cast once they get saturated. I think it's better just to have multiple patterns, multiple versions of the pattern, multiple flies. Moose mane. Chop off the tips. Tip first. Wrap the body. You could do thread body if you didn't have if you had the right color thread. Or need a wing. There's a whole feather. I don't know how that got in there. Here's another whole feather. Here's the tip. And this is a good one. We'll do this guy. Just one of him. Wrap in front. Trim it off. There's some little red fur in there. Reposition. Hackleless is also a good variation to have. So stopping here, just hackleless is a great fly. Trim it out. Split the thread. Oh, that was not good, but it doesn't, like, honestly, this is the appropriate amount you need. We lost a lot of the material. But truthfully, this is all you need. I would like it sitting higher up in the loop. So I'm gonna have to wrap, and unnecessary wraps, which I'm not a huge fan of. But in terms of the properly dressed patterns that we've tied today, this is the most appropriately dressed in terms of the amount of material. The other ones were too heavy. I think that's it. I don't have time for any more. Very quick fly tying. I'm heading out of town this afternoon, so I won't be able to tie for a couple days. And I'm gonna fish 2 days. And I needed a few of these in the box. All right. Ooh, good. There's a longie on that guy. But really simple, nice, small mayfly pattern. I'll show you what we did. Those are the flies we tied today. Nice, simple, clean. The bottom is the appropriately dressed version. The two on top are quite heavy. Whatever. All right, see you.